Hi, everyone, and welcome to Creators and Copy. I'm Erica Sietsma, CEO and co-founder of Autofluencer. And joining me today is Amanda Tugwell. Hey, Amanda.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Excited to have you on. Real quick, Amanda, tell anybody in our audience that may not know who you are a little bit about yourself and the project you're working on.
Sure. So my name's Amanda Tugwell. I grew up in the Bay Area. I've got a 1968 Ford Mustang that I'm super passionate about. It's my baby. I bought it about 3.5 years ago, right when COVID was announcing and all that was going on. And they said, you can't travel, you can't go out of your house, you have all these restrictions and everything. And I said, well, I need something to work on, to work with my hands,
Right.
to learn and stuff. So I had the idea of restoring a car. I've always been passionate about older cars. I love cars. My whole life grew up loving them. So for me, that was just something I wanted to always do. And I finally got the time to do it.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. And so you're what, like 2.5 years then into the build? 3?
About 3 now. Yeah, definitely 3.
Okay, so today, we've been talking. We actually met at SEMA and at an SBN event. Woo-hoo, go SBN. And you do work with brand partnerships, and there are a few tips, that you'd love to give some of those, not your brands per se, but just in general, tips for brands. So let's hear, what are your top tips from brands when they're working on creator collaboration?
Totally. So just to go back on my build real quick, I've been restoring it and as I've been going through the different projects, I've been needing new tools. I've been needing different things that I don't normally have in my garage. And so as I've been posting about it and sharing my story on my Instagram, there's been brands that have reached out and said, hey, this might help you out a little bit better, or maybe try this. And so one of the first brands that I got to work with was Simple Green. I made a mess in the garage, driveway, all over. And I was using their product because it's safe on the car when I'm cleaning up different parts in the engine. And so they reached out and they said, hey, here's some stuff that might help the mess that you made in your garage. And it worked awesome. And so from there, it just kind of started. So I would give them a tag or show like, hey, I'm using Simple Green. And I would always stand off of brands and products that I actually use and I like and I stand for, because if I'm going to be talking about it, and I want people to have a good message about it too. So yeah, I just started with that, just giving a shout out to Simple Green. And then I got to work with Ryobi with some tools. They sent me some great stuff. I got to work with Bosch, a company called Lyle. And then also I've been working with like Pertronics. Some other ones would be like Night Buddy, which is like a headlamp that goes your head.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm actually going to do work on something on our sink. And I was like, I need a night buddy.
Yeah.
So, yes,
So awesome.
they're really cool. Yeah.
They're great. I also worked with Precise Built Tools. They do torquing wrenches and stuff. And then I also torquing ratchets. And then I also, after going to SEMA, I've been able to work with a few other ones like Vim Tools, and then Grip Edge are some new ones that are on the horizon. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah, very exciting working with the brands. If I were to give some tips for what they could let us know, so in the communication, in the relationship that we're building, some of the things that I would like to know is like more of the specifics. For instance, when I do this post, what sort of hashtags, who should I tag? Is there any catchphrases that I need to say in the messaging that they really want to highlight? Like, for instance, if one company really wants to highlight one of the features on their tool, well, can I do
Right.
that and connect it with a project that I'm currently working on? So that would be something that I would want to highlight. Another thing that I would want to know is there was one company that sent me like so much specifics. It was like a PowerPoint that they sent me with 12 different slides of different things that I needed to look for when editing and filming. That was a little bit on kind of almost
Too much.
too much. But what I did like about it, very specific, and I knew exactly what to do
Right. Right.
in that sense. So I do like having that information, but I think another tip would be just allowing the creator to do what they're good at, because we're our own little producers, and we film, we edit, we create, we get all the posing, we do the lighting, we do all the script for it. So with all of that, It's like, we know what we're doing is as long as you guys provide us the information that we need in order to do is successful based off of what the brand wants to represent.
Yeah.
That's
It's almost like guardrails, right? It's not telling you exactly, but it's these guardrails to help you know the do's and the don'ts of the product.
exactly. And some of the do's that I would say are like, do like when you're posting, obviously be happy, smile, talk positively about it.
Right.
There are some people that I've seen that have worked with brands that have used some music that probably has not the best PG language on it, or they might be showing some different like words and stuff. So I would keep it very PG friendly and make sure that what we're saying is very, kids could be watching, kids could be getting interested because their parents are watching it on their phones and now they want to be into cars too. And that's something I've always been
Yeah.
passionate about too.
That's great. And that is something that actually I think as a brand, I think it, to your point around the do's and the don'ts, I think brands could certainly do a better job of really articulating just here are brand values. Right? And it's not something that you have to say as a creator, but just to know, and then using that to their lens, which I think a lot do use that as their lens for how they pick creators, but they maybe don't always clearly articulate it. This is our style as a brand, right? So I think that's great. That's a great point. Both, kind of on the brand and, know those guardrails and share them. Don't go over the top, right?
Right.
And then, too, as a creator, being mindful of those guardrails and mindful of that brand and their values. So that's a great one. What else you got?
The other thing I would say, and I just got to work with a brand that I'm really excited about, but they are very flexible, and that is such a godsend because I work full time and my job's
Right.
very demanding. So when I get time on my Mustang to work on it, it's usually after work or on the weekends. And with having that brand say to me, post when you can, there is no timeline. We're just happy to work with you. That brings so much stress off of me because I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be flexible. I can get really good content. There's not that pressure there. I've had some brands that have said we need this by in 2 weeks, and it's really hard to do that because
Right.
my hands of the work might come up, and I can't commit the time. I might be already working on another project, and then I have to prioritize some projects that I had in mind for the Mustang because they need their content sooner rather than later. So I think just being flexible and with the creator themselves and realizing that they have other commitments and they might have other duties. Like there's this one girl I follow, she's a mom and she restores her car during nap time, and that must be tough because you never know how long naps are going to go. So
Right.
it's really interesting. So like having that flexibility, I think, with the creator and knowing that they've got other stuff going on, other commitments and priorities that some of us, it's not our whole gig right now. I would love it to be my whole gig, but right now focus on that. So yeah.
Well, and that's the goal, right? As Autofluencer, we want to give you back more time to do what you love. And in some cases, it could be making that jump from, part-time creator, full-time day job to full-time creator. So that's the dream, right? I think for a lot of people is just being able to work on cars, be able to race their cars, be able to drive their cars. So those are great, right? And I love that it's guardrails, for the creator, right? We don't need to tell them exactly what to do, but give them those guardrails, those do's or don'ts, that messaging, and then giving them that flexibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being very upfront in the beginning. Hey, we have this campaign that's due in 2 weeks. Can you do it? And then you might be like, I don't know if I can pull that one off. This is what I could do, right? So just kind of depends on what it is. And then anything else you have for the brand?
Yes, one of my favorite things that I would love to have after I've sent the stuff out and after I've worked with these brands and I've sent all my content out to them, I would love to see what they've done with it, where it ends up, when they post it, if they are able to share that with me, because then what I would do is want to really help push that for them on my accounts.
Right.
For instance, like if they get ready to post something, let me know, let's collaborate on it so that I can post and highlight, hey, go check me out on their page to my followers. So I would love to see what ends up getting used, even if it's not like on the website or an ad or a commercial or whatever.
Right.
I'd love to see how they use it in their sense.
That is such a good one. And I think that's one that gets overlooked a lot. The brand kind of forgets, right? They've got a lot of expectations of the creator to get them these assets.
Yeah.
But then when they go to use the asset, they don't realize that partnership, that collaboration doesn't need to be done. The creator can still help you. They've got an audience and a narrative, and they can share it back and help amplify it, right? Engage, comment, etc. That's a really great tip. Well, Amanda, thank you so much. Real quick,
Yes.
what is your favorite caffeinated beverage?
I have to go with Coca-Cola. I love coffee. But I like Coca-Cola. Just a bottle of it, that glass bottle that it comes in. That's my jam.
I love that. I love that. You're the first to say Coca-Cola, so I'll give you credit for that. All right. Well, Amanda, thank you so much. I'd love to have you back on and hear some other tips you've got for us. So we appreciate it, and good luck with the Mustang.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.